I'm very sorry about poor Patrick, of course. He was a nice boy.
We were all so fond of him.
But I never cared for James. He was too like his mother, and a nastier woman never drew breath.
Mamma, may I present Matthew Crawley and Mrs. Crawley, my mother, Lady Grantham.
What should we call each other?
Well, we could always start with Mrs. Crawley and Lady Grantham.
Come into the drawing room and we can make all the proper introductions. Thank you, guys. We were just saying how charming this room is now.
It always seemed rather dark when my mother-in-law lived here. Then she made everything rather dark.
What will you do with your time?
I've got a job in Ripon. I said I'll start tomorrow.
A job?
In a partnership. You might have heard of it, Harvel & Carter. They need someone who understands industrial law, I'm glad to say, although I'm afraid most of it will be wills and conveyancing.
You do know I mean to involve you in the running of the estate.
Oh, don't worry. There are plenty of hours in the day. And, of course, I'll have the weekend.
We'll discuss this later. We mustn't bore the ladies.
What is a weekend?
I thought you didn't like him.
Well, so what? I have plenty of friends I don't like.
Should our housemaid be kept enslaved or forced out into the world?
Why are you English so curious about other people's lives? If she wishes to leave and the law permits it, then let her go.
Well, perhaps the law should not permit it. For the common good.
So you hanker for the days of serfdom.
I hanker for a simpler world. Is that a crime? Anna, help me do battle with this monstrosity. Looks like a creature from the lost world.
The Dowager Countess.
Oh, my dears. Is it really true? I can't believe it. Last night, he looked so well. Of course, would happen to a foreigner. It's typical.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'm not being ridiculous. No Englishman would dream of dying in someone else's house. Especially someone they didn't even know.
Oh, Granny, even the English aren't in control of everything.
Well, I hope we're in control of something, if only ourselves.
Mrs. Crawley tells me she's recommended nitrate of silver and tincture of steel.
Well, is she making a suit of armour?
But he doesn't drive. So I told her I could do it.
What?
I said I could drive the tractor.
Edith, you are a lady, not Toad of Toad Hall.
Well, I'm doing it.
I'm sorry, but if Dr. Clarkson needs free labour, I'd prefer him not to find it in my nursery.
But Sybil isn't in the nursery.
No, and in case you hadn't noticed, she hasn't been there for some time.
You know what I mean?
Well, no, not really. You can't pretend it's not respectable when every day we're treated to pictures of queens and princesses in Red Cross uniform, ladling soup down the throat of some unfortunate.
But Sybil won't be ladling soup. She'll have to witness unimaginable horrors when she's an innocent.
Her innocence will protect her.
Yeah, for once I agree with Cousin Isabel. Sybil must be allowed to do her bit like everyone else. You are quite wonderful the way you see room for improvement wherever you look. I never knew such reforming zeal.
I take that as a compliment.
I must have said it wrong. Yes, the minister. Well, how many Marquises of Flintshire are there? I say, is this an instrument of communication or torture? Hello? Shrimpy? It's Aunt Violet. Very well, yeah. And Susan? Yeah. Good. I won't beat about the bush, dear. Whom might we know on the board of Leeds General Infirmary?
Oh, it's quite safe. You're in a group and you knock on doors.
Yes, I know what canvassing is.
I think that Sybil is...
What? Are you canvassing too? Or would you rather take in washing?
I was only going to say that Sybil is entitled to her opinions.
No. She isn't until she is married. Then her husband will tell her what her opinions are.
Oh, Granny.
You're lucky. I have a horrible feeling Simmons is about to hand in her notice. She's looking very fidgety lately. And I saw her hurrying to meet the postman.
Oh, you poor thing. Is there anything worse than losing one's maid?
I mean, why would she want to leave me? I've been as gentle as a lamb. Most of the time.
We can't know if Matthew will come through it. Either way, I would like to see him, and I want to wish him luck.
The trouble is Mary's back from London today as well. She gets in at 5 o'clock.
Matthew's driving down in Lavinia's car. They won't meet on the train.
Oh, that's a relief. I hate Greek drama. You know, when everything happens off stage. So, that's Mary's replacement. Well, I suppose looks aren't everything.
I think she seems rather sweet. I'm afraid meeting us all together must be very intimidating.
I do hope so. I make no apology. It would be a terrible thing if poor old Mr. Molesley's son were killed, wouldn't it, Molesley?
I'm sure it would, but...
And then I heard William's father would be left on his own if anything happened to the boy. And what would become of Carson if the last of his staff were to go?
That's not the point.
Do you want Molesley to die?
Of course I don't.
Well...
I don't want my own son to die either, but this is a war, and we must be in it together. High and low, rich and poor. There can be no special cases, because every man at the front is a special case to someone.
What about Sybil? Does she have anyone in her sights?
Not that I know of.
Are you sure she has no chap in mind? How odd. I had an endless series of crushes at her age.
I don't think so.
Not even some man she doesn't care to mention.
What do you mean?
Well, war breaks down barriers, and when peacetime re-erects them, it's very easy to find oneself on the wrong side.
Really, Granny, how can you say that I'm too worldly, but Sybil's not worldly enough? You cannot be so contrary.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose. Cora tells me Matthew has gone missing. Is that true?
There's no proof of anything yet.
I see. I need more than that to make me anxious.
I'm glad you would be anxious.
Of course I would be. We're used to Matthew now. God knows who the next heir will be. Probably a chimney sweep from Solihull.
Matthew has proposed.
My. Has she said yes?
She hasn't said anything yet, except that she's going to have to tell him about Pamuk.
For heaven's sake, why?
She thinks to keep it secret would be dishonourable.
She reads too many novels. I mean, one way or another, everyone goes down the aisle with half the story hidden. The question is, will she accept Matthew?
I'm not sure.
Well, if she doesn't, we'll just have to take her abroad. In these moments, you can normally find an Italian who isn't too picky. Have you thought about Matthew?
Of course. But Aunt Rosamond said...
She's written to me I should pay no attention.
But, Granny, she has got a point. Mary can't be completely naive.
I don't need your help, thank you.
Mary, listen to me. If you take Matthew now, when his whole future is at risk, he will love you to the end of his days.
Why, Granny, you're a romantic.
I've been called many things, but never that. What have I done wrong now?
Oh, please. Don't pretend Mary's sudden reluctance can't be traced back to you.
Well, I shall pretend it. I told her to take him. Your quarrel is with my daughter Rosamond, not me. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Well, Rosamond, I'm afraid your meddling has cost Mary the only decent offer she'll ever get.
I'm sorry, Mama, but you know me. I have to say what I think.
Why?